Welcome back. Let's continue exploring Voltaic, which is pretty easy because there's only one way to go. Down here. And into this canyon or whatever it is. It looks like here the path does, however, split. Can go right, or we can keep going straight. Well, let's go right first. Through this passage, which leads to some pages, which you can take from here, but not from there for some reason. It's the first entry, it seems. It is coming back to me, slowly, the knowledge of who I am. How long I have been trapped here. So much of it is blurry, whole blocks of time still floating in the fog that eats my mind. But if I concentrate, I get pieces of it back. It was the dream that first helped me remember. I was lying in the reeds near the tusk. I don't know for how long or how I get here. I'm staring at the sky, seeing a man grow out of the cliff, first his head, then his shoulders, then his torso. Sunlight rims his body like a halo. I cannot move. I think that death has finally come for me. The man stands on the cliff with a book in his hand, staring down at the lagoon, as if something made him sad. I wanted to call out to him, to tell him it was me he's come to find, but my mouth is dry. I can't remember any words. Before I think to stand, he opens his book, puts his hand on the page, and fades to dust. I thought it was a dream. It was only later, hours or weeks later, that I find his swirling book atop the cliff. And when I reach down to grab it, it is real. The fog tried to swallow me then and there, but I held on to the firm reality of the book and did not let it. I did not let the numbness steal my mind. Svidro is recalling the first time that Atris came to visit Jinanin in a long while, which is what he did at the end of his journal, or described at the end of his journal, in response to finding the book again, or being given the book again by Catherine, who reminded him that it was those lessons that he would have needed to write Relishan. And it seemed that this event was also the catalyst that allowed Svidro to cast off the fog that clouded his mind, and regain his senses, and start planning his revenge. Which was one of the downsides, I suppose. A door. Which, of course, is locked. In which case, we can go back, but we can go left here. And continue down this passageway. Into this tunnel, and looks like we can actually go upstairs here. It's quite noisy, so wonder what that is. There's also a diagram on this side with a gear or something, looks like it, connected to a ring with 5 dots around it, and a UFO, or maybe an old hat. I don't know. A shield and a slinky. I'm sure I got all of that right. Of course, first time playing this game, I dutifully copied this down. You don't need to. Let's see what's up here. I can hear water. It's the structure we could see from the island. It looks like there's a gate here in front of that passage that we could see downstairs. Where's the water going after that? Or is that entirely closed? It doesn't look like it's entirely closed. There's a wheel here. Let's see. That opens the gate. And that is quite noisy as well. Sounds like there may be a waterfall on the other side there or something. Can't see that from here though. I wonder if that served a purpose. Well, at least it didn't flood the passage, so we can still get through here. There's windows. This one's broken. We can see something outside the passage. Let's see what that is. It's some kind of water wheel. Oh, the whole passageway is snaking. I assume there was another way to do that, because I think that breaking the glass is probably something Savitro did. Don't see how you would otherwise have done that, though. Let's see what that looks like. From up here. Yep. We've got a rotating water wheel. I guess that if we had not moved the gate, that wouldn't have worked. And if we look at the diagram now, the first symbol is lit up. And actually, come to think of it, that whole water wheel contraption, that sort of looks like this, doesn't it? So I guess this means that the water wheel now has power, or is generating power, probably. Let's see what these other things are. Maybe we'll come across those as well. And presumably we have to power them up. It's been a while since we've had a turn on the power puzzle. We haven't had any in this game yet. They're usually such a staple of the Myst series. Let's see where this goes. To another locked door. Not very helpful. I wonder what those things are. They seem to be poles connected by a cable that seems to go across here. I wonder if you can see that from the top. It goes around the corner there into the canyon. Oh, and we can actually also go downstairs. Or down a ladder, more accurately. That seems to be a piston. Or of some sort. This is below where we were standing, isn't it? I don't know what that's for. That didn't sound good. Yeah, that's not working. It looks like there's actually teeth on top of this wheel, and they're trying to grab some other moving teeth here. That's not working because they're moving. take a look up here. Actually see that. These are attached to the water wheel and they're moving, preventing them from interlocking. That's why you have a clutch in your car, because you can't change gears otherwise without first disconnecting them. But there's no clutch here, so I think we have to turn this off so we can interlock those and then have to turn it back on. But it seems the stranger doesn't want to collapse the water wheel again while it is moving. I guess he's attached to his hands. Understandable. Fortunately, there is another way to turn this contraption off, which is by closing the gate. Well, that's a lot more quiet anyway. You can see here that the cable from those poles that we saw actually goes over the top of the gate. It seems to lead to those posts over there, near the diving board, or what I call the diving board. Probably isn't one. Alright. Well, that's turned off, so I keep looking the wrong way here. Now we should be able to get in here. If we could hold our breath long enough. Which I can't, so... How did the water get here? I don't know, must have sprayed up from something. Does this place have tides? If so, is this low or high tide? I don't know. Can't see where the water's going. Must be a waterfall on this side. Anyway, now you can actually see the waterfall is down here. We're going to have to close the gate again, so we can get down there. That does mean we need to turn this off, which we can do now that it's not moving, because otherwise it would start moving again and the whole exercise was for nothing. There we go. No power anymore. But the teeth aren't moving, so hopefully we can raise that piston now. There we go. And that seems to work better. Now let's turn the water wheel back on and see what that accomplished. Presumably it accomplished something. You can see they are interlocked now, the two gears. I assume that means it's gonna bring power to something from this diagram. Let's see. Yep, that's moving. And we can see the door is on. Actually, I'm kind of curious. We brought power to the ring with 5 dots around it. I wonder if that's the door, maybe. Or maybe it's the wheel on top of the piston. Okay. This is rotating. Why am I standing here? That seems pointless. What does that look like from below? It looks like it's rotating. Not surprisingly. Let's see. Something happens to the door, but can we open it now? That's the question. We can. Overly complicated doors. Staple of the Myst games. And another viewer. So I presume another message from Savidro.
This morning I woke up and I couldn't picture Tamara's face. The little line at the corner of her lip that pulls her whole mouth down when she smiles, the flutter in her eyelashes. I tried so hard to picture her in my mind. Put her down on paper as if that might bring her back. I couldn't do it. Atris, I'm not you.
Savidro still seems to think that Atris can restore people by writing. So he's in for some disappointment there, I guess. And it seems that we've discovered the reason for the missing eyes in the picture on the wall. It's not that he didn't want her to see. He just couldn't remember, poor guy. If only we could talk to him, convince him that Atris isn't responsible, that Sirius and Akanar were acting alone. But then again, would he even listen? How reasonable would you be after 20 years of solitary confinement like that on an island like Junanin with nothing to keep you company but a squee? And I'm not even certain the squee was there. If Savidro brought him from Idana, then that probably happened after Atris linked back to Junanin. Let's see what we have here. A giant cylinder with the dunny number 1 on it. I guess we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that in the next video.